Welcome back to Kettlebells and Cocktails. I'm John here with my bestie, Nikki. Nikki, how are you?
I'm so good. Did you see this magical cocktail that like floated into the frame? Like Matt like walked into the
uh,
room and like handed it to me in this holiday cup. Look.
these are all the benefits of being married, which I don't get to take advantage of. It's the only benefit to being married, but I don't get to take advantage of it. You know what I did to offset that though is when my daughters were really young, I taught them how to make mixed drinks. It was great.
Did they bring you your
Fantastic.
slippers and like a vodka soda when you got home from work?
There's a whole trick to this for parents that are listening. If you're young kids, here's the trick. All right. So first of all, you start with opening bottles of wine because that's pretty easy for kids. They can figure it, and it's really fun. They get to learn how to do it. And then you graduate them to, like scotch on the rocks. Like you can't mess that up, and
Right, right.
then you teach them how to make martinis. That's when it gets real fun.
About
And
like 5, 6 years old, they can handle the martini, right? Yeah.
Meg could make a killer martini at about 9 or 10 years old. And
All right.
yeah, she could kill it. She could absolutely kill it. But here's the trick. If you have more than one kid, you have to teach them both and you have to alternate who brings you drinks. That way they don't know how big a lush you are.
I can already foresee like Matt will, this is self-admittedly, like I'm not saying this to like shit on him, but he has like basically one major talent in life, and that's chugging. Like he's like really good, like really good at chugging beer.
Good. That's a talent. It's a
And
good talent.
I know it's hard, like it's hard to do. So it's like actually fair to say out loud.
Right.
So I can totally like already envision him and Hunter like having like shotgunning beer competitions or whatever when he's of age. Like
I'm so proud.
when you taught your kids to make drinks, he's gonna teach our son to shotgun beers. I'm so ready.
Uncle John's going to come up and be part of this, do some tailgating with them.
Deal.
It's going to be great.
Allowed, fully allowed.
I'll be too old to be tailgating at that point. There's no doubt in my mind. No doubt.
We'll wheel you out.
That's
Don't
fine.
worry about it.
You're close to having to wheel me out now, Nikki. Come on.
Depends on the day. Me too, actually.
It is. It does depend on the day. Well, I'm excited about tonight's show because we have a new guest, someone we've never had on before, but wanted to have on forever. Danielle Brandon is with us. Danielle, how the hell are you?
I am great. I am in Las Vegas. The weather is perfect and I'm feeling good.
Ooh, what's the weather there right now? How hot is it?
It's probably the high today was 70, 75, I think.
Oh, it's perfect.
It is perfect. And like
is.
at night when I'm walking cash, it's just like perfect weather, like sweater and shorts, and I'm great.
Damn, it's been like in the 30s and 40s here already. You too,
Yeah.
John? Has it
Yeah,
been
we had
already cold as shit? Yeah.
Snow on the ground. It's great.
Really?
Oh,
Already?
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Yeah. It snowed yesterday. It's great. Cleveland's awesome.
Mm.
I say with no
Awesome.
irony whatsoever. I will say about Vegas. I went to Vegas this year for the first time in 10 years. And it was for the
West
semi.
Coast Classic.
Yeah, West Coast Classic.
yeah.
It was like 115 degrees out there. And I'm like, who the hell would live here? It was
Yeah.
absolutely miserable for 5 days. You couldn't step outside.
Mm-mm.
It was rough.
That's the rough part. But we have an air conditioned gym, so it's really not that bad, especially when you're in the gym all day.
You
See?
guys, at West Coast Classic, when it was, no lie, like over 100 degrees at night, and I was super fucking pregnant. Do you remember?
Yes.
Like, it was torture. I was literally, we were busy working the event, so we don't usually have a ton of time to like hang out when we travel and stuff, but it was Vegas, so there was at least one night we tried to like walk the strip. I had to leave my friends and be like, I don't think I'm supposed to overheat like this right now. Like I think that I need to get my ass in a cab and go back to the hotel. And I couldn't even, it was like 9:30 p.m. and it was over 100 degrees. I was like, I don't think I'm allowed to be outside in this heat.
Yeah.
There's not a lot you
I'm
can't
not
do when you're
allowed to be
pregnant.
out here.
I think I'm not supposed to like cook my child from the outside. So I'm just gonna go back to the hotel. But outside of being super, super pregnant, I actually really love that kind of dry heat. Like it super, super hot like that doesn't bother me. So if it weren't for that, I get why you live there. That's all I'm saying.
Well, and people are like, yeah, it's so hot, but like I'm not just spending my whole day outside. Like,
right.
Like most people are in air conditioning. If they want to go outside, they can go outside, and usually it's by the water. You're in a swimsuit, like
Yeah.
Well, you do have great nightlife and lots of pools. So, give you the big upside to Vegas.
exactly.
Do you, when you live in Vegas, do you like spend time on the strip, or is that like the last place you go?
No, I would say, especially in the field, like in my career in fitness, not as often as somebody who's probably like in Circus Olay and like someone who's a cocktail server, in like that nightlife industry. But I do definitely like enjoy going down to the strip and going to like fun dinners and of course the pools. So like I feel like I go there just for occasions. It's never just like a casual night on the strip.
Right. Or like
And
when
plus
people come and
I
visit
live
you
outside of it, like people are like, oh, you live in Vegas, you're like on the strip. And I'm like, no, like I have to like make a journey to get to the strip still.
No, I have a neighborhood. I don't like
exactly.
like, the Venetian is not my backyard.
Exactly.
I get it. Sure. I get it. But you officially are moved, right? Like this is you're in a new spot. That's why your mattress is on the ground behind you.
Yeah. It's just crazy. I think I've moved I think I've almost officially been here for a year, but I've moved like 3 times.
What?
Yeah. It's just like crazy. Just like when I first moved here, it was in Henderson area. So it was just like really far. Like, I mean, it was like a 25-minute commute to the gym and it just kind of like got old. It was great when I first lived there. But, when you're at the gym for a long time and then I got a dog, it was like not easy to just like run home. Mm-hmm. So then I moved. And then this time I moved and I was renting from a lady and she sold the house. So then I had to like quickly find just like a new spot to live. So yeah, that's why the mattress is on the ground. And again, living like a college boy.
What a pain in the ass. Moving sucks in and of itself. And then you never realize how much crap you have until you need to move. And you're like, how did I amass all of this? Where did it all come from?
Honestly, it's shoes for me. Like
John too.
I'm not even like a shoe obsessed person. But like being with Nike and everything, you're like, I want all the shoes I can get. And it's just stupid. People are like, get rid of them. And I'm like, no, like, what if I need them one day? And so I literally just have this pile on the ground of just like 100 shoes. And I'm just like, this is stupid, Danielle.
Okay. First of all, whoever told you to get rid of your shoes is officially not a friend anymore. What the heck? No. No.
You can't do that.
And second of all, I mean, John, how do you store it? What's your storage system? Maybe you can help y'all. You guys have about the same amount of shoes.
I literally have like 3 hanging ones in my closet and I still have a mass file.
They're in every room in my house, Nikki. And anywhere I move, I could pick up shoes. I could literally move to my left right now and pick up a pair that are sitting 2 feet away from me. They're just everywhere. Just they've overtaken the house. Well, right now it's the Innovate 260 that Scott Panchek designed. Love them.
But
I've got this relationship with Innovate now, and they just keep sending me shoes. And what am I going to do? Be the asshole that says no? Like, okay, I'll take more shoes.
Humble brag.
Hey, look, it's not a humble brag. I'm like totally stoked. Free shoes, take it all day long, any day. And then like other people will send me stuff, and again, I'm not going to say no. So I just end up with a bunch of shoes, but right now it's the Innovates. I'm just all in.
Danielle, what are your favorite Nikes?
I like the Turbos, the Metcon 7s, and of course my Blazers.
Ooh.
The Metcon 7s are really dope. Yeah.
My favorite Nikes are the Sky High wedges that they don't even make anymore, that I have to buy on Poshmark whenever I find a pair that I'm obsessed with. Yeah, they're
oh my gosh.
Awesome. Highly recommend.
You need to send me the link to that. I want to see them.
I will. They're the most comfortable wedges I own. I could run a marathon in them for real.
Oh my gosh. I love that.
I'll send you a link.
We all need that too.
I'm of that age that I remember when Nikes came out that we didn't know how to pronounce it, and they were all canvas. And they just had the red swoosh on the side. This is way before Jordan ever made those guys big,
How funny.
Oh, I've loved Nike forever. And I've got 2 pairs, but they have a pair of lifters that I cannot get rid of because I've loved those things for a decade now.
Are they
Romalio?
Romalio 2s? Yeah, the 2s. They're
I'm
so
like,
good.
oh,
Yeah. Those totally.
those
So
ones,
good.
yeah. They are. You can't beat the Nike Romaleos. You really can't.
Oh, they're
They're
so
so
good.
good.
So this living like a college student thing, is it liberating or is it bug you at this? Like I think I'd find it liberating, to be honest.
It's fun because I'm like organizing and like, it's like a new spot. So I get to, decorate how I want and whatever. But it was just like unfortunate timing because I had to move out basically by the end of it was by the end of October. But then I was like going to Rogue. So like literally I like just moved like the last bit of my stuff the day before I was flying to Rogue. So I'm like a super anal OCD, like clean freak person. So knowing that all my shit was just like everywhere and like a mess in my new place, but I'm like in Austin, it just like irritated me.
Uh-huh.
It was just like, like moving already, and I like moved alone, and like it was just very
Oh no.
obnoxious. So then when I came home, I actually just got back because I went to like Mississippi, and I just got back on Sunday, and I was like locked in, and I was just like, all right, like we got to get to work. So I just like
you're like
been
making
grinding.
to-do lists of like all the things you have to put away every night when you fall asleep, that kind of thing. Yeah, I hate that.
And just like, what do I need? Like,
Mm.
Hey, I was going to ask
And
you
I'm
about
so-
that.
yeah.
Tell me about this Mississippi trip. Why were you in Mississippi? I saw that on your story the other day.
Yeah. So my boyfriend, actually, his dad lives there.
I am made of questions.
Love
What?
it. I know.
Tell me everything. Wait, let me preface these questions by my favorite like Q&A thing that you do is when people like inevitably like pop in the questions and they're like, "Hey, can I like be your boyfriend?" Your response always like, "I'm the crazy girlfriend you don't want."
Oh my God. So that's actually fucking hilarious. So he doesn't have like social media or Instagram.
What?
Yeah. And when we like first started talking, I think someone like sent him that video, or I sent it to him. I don't remember. Like the video of where I'm fucking crazy. Like, like
Don't want to date
like,
me. Totally.
You
Yeah.
can't handle this. He literally like now he's like, yeah, like I understand it. He's like, I get it. He's like worth it totally, but like accurate. I'm just
Okay.
like, yeah.
Well, how did you
But
find this
so funny.
mystery man who doesn't have social media that we can't all go stalk now? What the heck?
I know. And like, it's hilarious because we've been seeing each other, I mean, like officially like 6 months. So it's just funny because nobody knows that. But
No. And we can't go find him.
right. You can't, unless you're friends with him on Facebook. Which,
Ew, on Facebook? Is
I
he
know.
40? Like, sorry,
okay.
John.
Nikki,
I'm sorry. I didn't mean that came out wrong. That came out wrong.
he
that was
had
so
it.
below the belt.
He had Instagram, but
I'm
was like,
sorry.
this is
That
way
came
for
out
him,
wrong.
blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
It's
I still
fine.
have MySpace.
I
What the
love
hell?
it. No, you don't.
No, he doesn't.
No.
No, but I want to meet your boyfriend now because I'm from Mississippi and I think we could sit here and talk the same language. It'd be great.
Well, so his dad is. So he was born in Mobile.
Same
and
thing.
then he like really grew up in Vegas.
Yeah.
So yeah, his dad. You could talk to his dad.
Perfect.
His dad's from from Van Cleve, which I hear.
Oh,
I mean, someone like told me a joke and they were like, "That's why they call it a toothbrush and not a toothbrush."
Yes. Yes.
Understood.
It is. That is the deep part of Mississippi. That's like down in the Delta. Like, yeah, that's deep. Like I'm northern Mississippi. I'm the Yankee part of Mississippi.
Mm-hmm.
That's deep.
It is nice though. I mean, like to get away and get to go to Mississippi and just like be on land. And they have like a beautiful home that they like built, and just like there's nothing. It's so different from being in Vegas. So every time I get the opportunity to like go out that way, it's amazing.
What's it like dropping in a little gym like that in rural Mississippi?
No, have you heard Crooked Letter CrossFit?
Well, I have now, of course.
Hey,
Oh,
look
how
them up.
cute.
Look them up because they are one of the nicest gyms I've ever been in.
Dude, it's always like that. It's always like
Yeah.
tiny little hometowns where, you know what it is? It's owners that really give a shit.
Yeah.
about
Oh,
their
yeah.
gym, and they're ingrained in the community, and they've made a little bit of money and they've reinvested it completely in the gym.
Oh, yeah.
My very first CrossFit gym where I started coaching and where we kind of like started our journey was in Little Bangor, Maine. And it is to this day the best and the nicest gym that I've ever been to.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah.
Right
It
now,
was freaking amazing.
there are members in that gym right now going, Betty Lou, I got to meet Danielle Brandon. Bless her heart. She was just sweet as pie. I can't believe how nice she was. And her blue
Oh
hair,
my
it was so
God.
lovely. It was just so lovely. I could just pinch her cheeks. Bless her heart.
True.
Yeah, they were very nice, but it's huge. Like they have over 200 members. Like
Yeah,
it's
because
a
they're the
very
only gym for like
successful gym.
45 minutes
Yeah.
around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were just like, the owners were hilarious. They were just like cutting a deer like in the front in the parking lot. Just like they're
That
like,
is-
yeah, like my daughter just like shot this deer and we're like cutting it. Like it's
That
so
is
funny.
that is so on
And,
brand.
like we're in Mississippi. Yeah.
The
That is
most
so on
Mississippi
brand
thing
for
that's ever
Mississippi
happened.
CrossFit. No doubt.
Yeah.
The most Mississippi thing.
That's
Oh.
fun though. Okay, cool. So you've been traveling
Yeah.
and now you're getting settled and you're like low key about to travel again. I mean, not even holidays are coming up, obviously, but you're about to go like you hit the long flight out to UAE, huh?
So breaking the unfortunate news, I'm
Bring it
actually
on.
not going.
Okay. So
Yeah, sadly.
what's going on?
Yeah. So before Rogue, I was just dealing with a back injury. And then didn't even know if I was going to do Rogue. We kind of thought I was going to pull out, but just kind of got through it. It was fun. You know, we didn't train for it. And plus, like Carrie was like, oh, I really hope you get to compete because it's like my last competition.
Her last
and I was
one.
Right.
I was like, I gotta push through for my girl. Like,
Of course.
I can't not compete. So just injury and just it's just like super, it's what, next month? Like it's like so soon.
Yeah. And it's like
And I'm
hella
still-
early in the season in comparison to like if you're really figuring, I always wonder how you guys do this because now the season is so extended. So if you're really figuring out like your peaks in your training and when you need to ramp up and when you need to qualify versus when you need to like pull back and just train, it's real early on in the season.
Exactly. And exactly that. I just need to like pull back and like get some solid like training in, you know. And it's funny, every year I feel like, I mean, in my experience, every year I've started training later and later.
Mhm.
You know, like when I was like newer to CrossFit, right after the games, I was like right back on training. And then like the next year, it was like a little later. This year, it's like a little later. So it definitely is. You have to find that good beginning because it's so long. It really is.
Well, it'll be a bummer not watching you in Dubai, but I fully understand why if you got an injury and it's way early on in the season, it makes sense. Of all of the competitions, it makes sense to sort of pace yourself against this one. Bummer though, because there's like a sick prize purse potentially. Blah.
I know.
And it's cool it's a
suck,
very
but
cool
it's just-
competition, but
It's a long flight too. And
girl.
you know, the recovery
Dude.
like before and after, I'm just like, oh my gosh.
So this is my first year in 4 years not going to that competition, which truly does break
Whoa.
my heart. I love going out there for that one, but like I also can't, I'm the main source of food for my tiny human and I can't put my whole family on an 18-hour flight right now.
Right.
Also, I actually don't know this. I'd have to look it up. I don't think I'm supposed to take like Dramamine or anything while I'm breastfeeding. And the only way I can
Oh.
make that flight happen is I take 2 Dramamine, sleep for 8 hours, wake up, take 2 more and sleep for 8 more hours. And then we're there.
You like have it down. I love
This
that.
is the only way I can do it. If I
Oh.
couldn't do that, I don't think I would survive. So we'll wait till next
And
year.
Do you fly like first class? Or do you
Oh my
just, like-
God, no. What?
no.
girl.
So that, I mean, like everyone's like, oh, fly first class. I'm like, oh, like how much is that? But
I don't
like,
think I've ever been on a first class flight in my life.
I haven't either.
But I will say that Emirates is a wicked nice airline and like even their coach seats
Okay.
are super, super comfortable and stuff like that. But I
Okay,
think that
that's
Emirates
good.
first class is like, I wouldn't be surprised if like everything was laden in gold. It's like one of
Right.
those like very fancy
Oh, geez.
airlines.
The,
Yeah.
the
One
closest
day,
I've been to
one day.
first class lately is when I went to Rogue, I had the last row to myself. The very last row on the plane. It's like redneck first class. It's the best.
Mm.
That's good.
It's close to the bathroom. It's dark. Everybody leaves you alone. It's perfect.
But you can't recline back there.
You don't need to. You have all
True.
3 seats. It was perfect.
That's true. That's true.
Nothing better than
True.
redneck first class, Nikki. Nothing better.
Oh. Okay, so then what's like the next thing on your calendar? Or do you not know yet?
Next thing, Wadapalooza.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going regardless. So whether I'm competing, not competing, or doing team.
Or doing team? No way.
Yes.
Ooh,
Yes.
that could be fun.
Yeah. Could be really fun. So
Like
we'll
within your
see.
training camp?
Not within my training camp.
Okay. I was gonna say if there's
Outside
gonna
of
be
it.
an underdog team, then I'm like,
That would be
watch
dope.
out. Yeah, that would be wild. But
That
everyone
would be
is
so fun.
but everyone's gonna want to go as an individual. So I get it. But that would be
Right.
really fun to watch.
That would be really fun.
Mm.
That could happen one day. I hope that.
I need to
happens
know
this
the
year.
team. Who's the team?
Yeah.
I don't know yet. I
Well,
can't.
I was talking to Alex
I could
Smith the
just
other
say
day,
that,
and
but-
he was teasing team and said they need a strong female. And rumor has
Is
it,
it,
you're a strong female.
No, it's 3-person teams.
Oh, that's right.
So he's talking for something else.
Yeah.
What's he talking about?
Oh, I don't know. He was just teasing around. Should he do team? Should he not do team?
Oh,
You know.
you're saying like team.
Oh, you guys.
Team-
Are
oh
the same.
yeah, girl, like team.
I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm talking like 3-person team.
Oh, like-
Wadapalooza.
All you guys are the same. You know, you all want to compete. I get it. Like that's the best thing about talking to athletes. You're all competitive, and everyone's looking for the next advantage. And like, how do we pair up the right way? And I love
True.
it. We all have these dream scenarios, Danielle, of our favorite athletes competing together. And the thought of you
Mhm.
and
Hey, I'll
Alec
go
on a team
compete with
together is
Alex
really
Smith.
cool.
Where does Alex Smith live?
They just moved. Him and Riley bought a house in Virginia, so close to his family. So they're on the other coast from you. They're too far away.
He has a nice house.
It is a nice
Does.
house.
He has a pool. He has a pool.
They'd let you move in, I bet.
I
Do you feel like moving again?
Yeah, why not?
Oh man. I'm already so used to it. Let's go.
You're like,
Let's
my
go while
stuff
I'm
is still in
fresh.
boxes. Do you know what the pro move at this point is? Just pay people to move you. Like once you've moved yourself
Yeah.
so many times, that's the answer. Is just like, you know what?
Yeah.
What is my time worth? Take
Right.
all my money, movers, and
Yeah.
make this happen.
Just do it for me. Do all the
Mhm.
heavy lifting. I can't. I'm done.
There's kind of a theme with you, Danielle. So one thing I really love about you is kind of have this devil may care attitude. Like I think back to the games, and Nikki was probably on the floor when this happened, but you know, during one of the events, you're like tossing both fingers up to the crowd, and everybody's loving it, and I'm loving it. Like I'm sitting there going, man, I love this attitude of just like, let's go, let's make this happen. You know,
That
And-
was, I feel like that was like the great debate on the internet was like, are those middle fingers?
That was
No,
great.
they're
She
first
was, like,
fingers. No.
pointing.
Is she pointing? Are they third finger? I can't even get my third finger up. I don't know how you, and it was like, for like a week, everyone was like, did she flip off everyone? And I'm like,
Yeah.
even if she did, why is this a big deal? Like athletes do that shit all the
Right.
time. I don't know. I was not in the comment section for
Well,
that one.
I just love it. I just like, I guess that's really kind of a question though. Is that how you live your life? Do you have this like kind of just take life as it comes attitude, or is it, you know, just
Yeah.
the heat of the moment?
I would say exactly that, taking life as it comes. But I've also just been I'm a very straightforward person, I would say, and I don't hold a lot back. My delivery is usually very aggressive and can come across as very aggressive. But I also like to say, you know, like I am a very like kind, nice person, but I don't know. I don't like to hold back on like my opinions, what I have to say, you know. I don't know. Too many people are so reserved and are scared to say what they think, and you know, even just tell people what they like and what they don't like, and you know.
Well, and you seem to catch your fair share of people making comments on this. I mean, I think a lot of the female athletes particularly catch a lot of the comments from people. You know, there's people love to come in and say rude shit, and you know,
yeah.
I love the fact you don't put up with it. I think it's great.
Yeah. Well, and it's funny because like people think the funniest thing, people think I'm just like so political. They think like all these things of me, and not once have I ever like said directly like my opinions about that. But yeah, people love to come at me about that stuff, and I'm just like, hold up, like, why are you coming at me like this? Like, I've given you no reason to do that. Like, it's just funny. People,
you can't reason with those kinds of people. And that's the thing.
No.
That's the thing when you're good at what you do and when you're a public figure and like also when you're a beautiful woman, it's just like the trifecta for the dumpster fire that is the internet to like unleash all of its fury on you.
The internet will always win. And I feel like that was like the best piece of advice I've ever gotten. It's just like the internet will always win. Like you can't fight those people, and it's just not worth it. I've gotten into my fair share of stupid down the rabbit hole arguments with people, and it's so hard to get your point across in messages that at some point I'm just like, this isn't worth it. They're never gonna.
The 2 middle fingers does a good job. That works.
Yeah, I mean,
my gosh, I think after the games there was a point where I just kept sending that picture. Like
that's perfect.
People would be like, I was just like, yep, this does it all. This is good.
What do you think about this? Here you go. Here you go. Here you go.
This is how I feel.
Yeah,
with a smile on my face.
It's hard to deal with haters. I don't know how the female athletes do it. I mean, because I think you guys have it so much worse than the men. Like the only thing you hear on men, particularly on the CrossFit side, is you get the haters coming in and going, oh, they're juiced up. Like that's all you hear. On the women's side, you get so much more.
We get that.
You get that, and you get the sexist, misogynist, the gross stuff, the feet dudes. Those are our favorite one to talk about on here. Like, like there's so much craziness out there. Like I just can't believe what you guys deal with on a daily basis. So you handle it great. Kudos to you.
Thank you.
Do you have people asking for foot photos? That's the real question. Yeah. Really? Oh my God.
Oh my gosh.
All the time.
Oh my gosh. So I had Snapchat for a little bit and I was like, I deleted it. I was like, why did I ever have this app again? To me, it's like a middle school thing.
Yes, me too. Days. Thank you. I don't understand how and why it turned into what it is. And this is me being old, right? Being like super chuggy, but like how and why Snapchat turned into what it is today, where like middle schoolers are just like totally all about sending each other pics that disappear all the time. I'm like, y'all, this was made for dick pics. That is the sole purpose.
App. I hate it.
It is the sole purpose of this app. How did it become a social media network? I don't understand.
Ladies, you meet a man and he has Snapchat, red flag. Red flag.
No. What the heck?
Yes.
I don't even know how it became like socially acceptable for kids to like snap each other and get streaks and whatever. I'm like, this is only meant for pictures of nuts. That's it.
That was like, what? Omegle.
What?
For kids? Yeah, you never like Omegle. You basically just went on there and you talked to random strangers, and like every fifth person was like somebody jacking off.
There was another one that was like that. That was like roulette something.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking
that?
about. I don't know the name of it, but literally it's the same thing as like Omegle. Yeah.
What the heck?
I'm just like no. And on Snapchat, I would keep getting like random people adding me and like messaging me and being like, I'll pay you for like pictures, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, why is this like, this is the only thing I'm getting on this app. Like, I do not need this.
Well, I'm sure now that you're sponsored by Toe Spacer, you get none of those requests now. That's really dissuading the foot guys completely. They're going, oh, I don't want anything to do with her now. She has foot mobility. So I'm not attracted to that at all.
Hey, you get both, some people are into that, some people not.
I would just send them your Venmo when they're like, hey, can I get whatever? I'll pay you. I'll be like, well, this is my Venmo. And if you send $500 immediately, then I'll think about it.
Right.
Look, I try to work a deal with all the athletes, Danielle. I will send you photos of my big hairy feet that you can send to these dudes for $500. Just give me a cut, $50. That's all I ask, 10%.
You know what though? It's so funny. So one guy was Snapchatting me and my boyfriend was like, give me it. And he like sent a picture of himself and the guy literally was like still interested. Oh. He was just like, oh, okay. You could have just told me you had a boyfriend. Like how can I get stuff out of him now?
Oh my God.
Are you for real? Turn him away. Like, I was just like, what? Yeah.
See, this is why, and I've said this before, I think Matt should make an OnlyFans because of the two of us who could make money off of this and supplement our growing family. Okay. It's irresponsible not to do this because we need the money. Of the two of us who could make cash on
Very
this, I
self-interested.
swear there are way more people who would have a ginger thing versus like a me on like a
I
vanilla,
bet.
whatever chick.
Ooh,
Right.
yeah, I bet. I bet
John,
that's
will
like
you
a
be?
whole other world in
Yeah.
its own.
John, will you
for
be
sure.
Matt's like gross people manager?
Sure. Yes.
All right, perfect.
I'll manage all the grossness. It doesn't bother me at
Perfect.
all. I'm in.
Let's start an account for him. We'll just like populate it with photos of him, and then once it's been running for a couple of weeks, we'll let him know that it's
Only
live.
gingers. That's what we're
Look
going to
how
call it.
successful you are.
Yeah. Did you
You
get
don't
wait?
even have
And
to do anything.
I said this on the show a couple of weeks ago. And I'm wondering if you got the same thing. So I got an email from OnlyFans. I could not make this
Oh
up.
yeah,
Did you get that? And it was like, hey,
Yeah.
we noticed you're an athlete.
yeah.
Like someone was like, hey, we noticed that you have like an athletic Instagram page. Did you know how OnlyFans can be like really lucrative for athletes? And I was like, is this real? And I didn't respond. And I got another email like a week later that was like, hey, Nicole, don't know if you got my first email, but like OnlyFans can be great for athletes. And I was like,
You're like,
oh,
oh, no, I got your first email. Yeah.
I'm not interested.
I got to be honest.
Like,
I'm a little hurt. I never got one. I am. I'm a
OnlyFans
little
can be
hurt.
great for meme lords.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure. Just raking it
Oh.
in. Oh my God. I don't even
Um,
want to think about this.
Speaking of places where people are talking about their mouth holes.
Oh yeah, that's right. We need to talk
Do you
about
want
a
to talk
sponsor.
about our sponsor?
Yes.
I honestly, I did not know where that was going.
Yeah, that's you. That's kind of the
Well.
theme of this podcast, Danielle. We usually don't know where it's going, but so we bring in Airwave is back as a sponsor, and we talk about them because they go in our mouth hole, and it's great.
Yeah.
And they're great for training, and I'm still using it, Nikki. My mouth hole, I mean, and specifically the Airwave.
Oh, your mouth hole.
Yes, I'm using my mouth hole and I'm using Airwave because it's I got in this big debate with Ben over this tonight. He's like, is it really good? And I'm like, yes. As a master's athlete, like it absolutely helps me recover. Like I feel better when I use it than when I don't use it. I feel like I'm recovering faster and I feel like I can breathe better. And it's great for me. So I'm glad they're back.
Yeah, me too. I am also glad. And Airwave has been, we've had them on the show before. We've had some of their like staff on the show before to help explain the science behind it. And I also really like it as a training tool. For me, it's not as much recovery. For me, it's like long chippers and like long workouts where I'm working out for like more than 15, 18 minutes, where normally I would die like less than halfway in. But when I have it in my mouth hole, so to speak, I kind of feel like I get a little bit of a second wind, or I at least prolong that like initial period where I'm going to totally lose it and crash and burn. And that is really nice. And it is important to note that Airwave is going to be offering their first ever in history sale whoop, whoop, to celebrate their 1 year anniversary, and just in time for Black Friday, Cyber Monday, which is right around the corner. So sale starts Monday the 22nd and ends on November 30th at midnight. Plus, listeners of our show can get an additional 10% off by using the code KC10 at checkout. You can do that right now through the end of the year. Ooh.
Well, and a lot of our favorite athletes use it. Dolan Pepper uses it. Love Dolan. He was just on a few weeks ago.
Steph uses it.
Rich Froning uses it. Rumor has it someone else very close to this podcast that might be on tonight could eventually be using it. You know.
Our actual most favorite athlete ever, who's on the show right now.
Oh my God. It's me. It's me.
It's you. It's you. How's it been going adding Airwave to your training?
So I've actually been using it for a couple months now. And same thing. I feel like I like to use it more for like conditioning, longer mono pieces. And for me, it really actually, it's almost like a reminder, and it brings me back to focus on my breathing because I'm such a mouth breather, and I'm just like, I
Me
don't
too.
like, I get so out of control. And so I actually like it because it's like, okay, it almost reminds me to like be calm and like take control of my breathing again. So I really like it for that, especially. Yeah. And of course, like the science behind it. How could you not get behind a product like that?
Totally.
Every
That's
little
my
thing,
That's my favorite part is like the woman who like basically invented it kind of set out to prove that it wouldn't work. She like set out to like write a report and do testing to be like, nah, this is not going to work. This is Dr. Dina Gardner. If you haven't listened to that episode of our podcast, go back and listen to it. It's
Oh,
back when we
cool.
were Make Pods Great Again. But yeah, she was like, this can't be real. And then she did the testing and she was like, oh, just kidding. This is real. And it
Oh my
all
gosh.
makes sense. So it's Airwave, AIRWAAV.com, extra A in there. And the code is KC10 at checkout for 10% off through the end of the year. Don't forget the Black Friday, Cyber Monday deals.
And wait till you wear it in your first competition, Danielle, and you start getting DMs from creeps offering $1,000 for your mouthpiece. It's gonna be great.
Hey, wow.
Free
Good thing
money.
I'm stocked.
10 out of
money.
10 would sell my used Airwave
Yeah.
for $1,000. Are you kidding me?
I'd
I
say
will
that
get
for
another
$10.
one.
Yeah. I can buy another one with that money.
Seriously, I will buy 4 during the Black Friday sale. If anyone wants my used mouthpiece, I have extras. Just let me know.
Yeah.
God.
What I want you to do,
Unreal.
Danielle, is I want you to win an event at the next CrossFit Games, and then I want you to take that thing out and just wing it at Dave Cash.
It's just like huck it.
No, huck it into the crowd.
Into the
Yeah.
crowd.
Perfect.
Oh, that's so funny.
I think it was
Man.
Steph Curry did that one year. I think I don't know if he threw it in the crowd or he threw it at someone, but it was in
His like mouth guard.
Yeah, I threw his mouth guard. It was a big deal in the NBA. It would be really cool. So chuck that thing in the crowd.
Now would it be like, oh my gosh, COVID?
Yes, I was
Oh.
just thinking that. I was like, I'm sure he threw his mouthpiece at someone back, but all the things that we used to do that are so gross now that I would like literally never do again. Like, no.
Mm.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be cool. No way.
Yeah.
So what have you got going on coming up like for the holidays and stuff? Are you going to be traveling again?
No, I'm actually gonna try to just stay in town and just, stick to my grind here and try to get healthy.
Yeah.
That's like the biggest goal right now. It's just being healthy, trying to train consistently. And whenever I travel, traveling's hard. But yeah, I think that's the plan right now.
Do you have a prognosis on your back? Is this something you think is going to take a while, or is it just kind of a mild thing? You're just waiting it out.
I wouldn't say it's just like a mild thing, just because it's been like a debilitating injury,
right?
To where, I literally like can't. I was squatting and I just couldn't anymore because it was just like seizing up, and I don't know. I just don't know what it is. So I actually have a plan to meet with a new PT here, and hopefully he can get me in for an MRI so we can just like be sure of what it is. So,
What could be really helpful in Vegas? You could just go down the strip and get a contact high. That helps with pain.
True.
Last time I was there, I felt like I was stoned for the entire week. It was crazy.
Oh my God.
I swear to God, I couldn't believe it. Like, we're walking around the strip. I'm like, why does it smell like weed everywhere? I had no idea it was legal. And then we like turn the corner and there's a dispensary and there's handing out joints on the sidewalk.
Vegas?
Yes.
I didn't know
Dispensaries
that,
right on the
actually.
sidewalk. People just walking around
They're
smoking.
everywhere.
I'm like, what the hell, man? I felt like I had a contact high for 2 or 3 days. It was great. It was really good.
It's kind of
It's free.
nice.
Had the
It's
munchies.
free.
My vision
Yeah.
got better. It was perfect. Totally perfect.
My vision got better.
Yeah.
Oh.
Totally perfect.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Man.
That sounds ideal. So is it in like hunkering down and staying in Vegas and staying with the training team and stuff? What is going on with you guys? Like, does your dynamic change at all now that Carrie's out of competition? I just like, you guys are so iconic to me after this past season, you and her and Bethany, and like, just, like, it's like, I really love the dynamic you got going on.
Yeah. West Coast was amazing. Especially, I feel like we're all 3 very different athletes, as well as just very different personalities. So it just like worked so well. And I think all had something to offer to the team. you know, especially Bethany and Carrie with their maturity and like their number of years in the sport. So it was great opportunity for me, you know. I got to come in to train with these freaking legends. But it's been easier, I think, just because we have a couple new girls.
Oh, cool.
So Alex, her last name Gazan. I don't even know. She was at West Coast.
Okay.
So she lived in Vegas, and then a couple months she would come in here or there to come train with us. And she got really close with Carrie, and then close with us. So she's not Carrie's replacement, but you know, at least we have like another body there.
Yeah.
And then we have another girl, Sabrina. So it's just been, at least it wasn't just me, Bethany, and Carrie. And then like Carrie left, and now it's just like me and Bethany, you know. So
totally.
So we have some good people there. It doesn't make it seem as lonely and sad that Carrie left, but she's still coming around. Like she's still training for now.
Cool.
Just like less weight, whatever she wants. Yeah.
You seem to me to have really like blossomed as an athlete and as a competitor in the last couple of years, since finding the training camp and since moving and since sort of like settling into everything that you've got going on over there with Justin. Like I remember the year that you were demo team, and we had the weirdest games ever, where it was basically just like me, you, and 3 other people at the ranch for 4 days. And that was like it. And you were like looking for training partners. You were like, I want to do this. I want to get better. I want to find other people. It seems to me like you've just evolved as an athlete and as a person. What has that journey been like for you since then?
Yeah. I mean, ever since after the demo team, being on the demo team, I think shortly after that, Justin and I had talked, and he was like, look, I have these goals for you. What are your goals? And, you know, and he's like, I think I can make those happen. And so really it was just like being a big girl and being like, okay, I need to take this risk and just move to Vegas, because what I'm doing right now in Sacramento is working, but I'm not growing. Like I'm not going to grow anymore here. There's nothing left for me. You know what I mean? And it's always really hard, like being and just like picking up your life and going somewhere new. But I knew they were great and amazing people, and you know, who you surround yourself with, you're gonna be like those people. And it's just that, like, being around them, they're amazing athletes, but like Bethany and Justin and Carrie, like they're just amazing people. So like it's like, why would you not want to be around that? You know? So it's just that, you know, I give most of my credit to them, you know. Like there's no way I would be where I am without them. And of course, Cooper and Jason, they're with lab management, you know, like all the credit is due to them and where I am now. Like, it's crazy. Like my life and as an athlete. So it's very fun.
That. Yeah. We miss Coop here in Rhode Island, for the record.
I know.
Sad.
He's everywhere.
He is everywhere, but like no one's in Rhode Island, so I fully understand not spending the majority of your time here. I get it. Trying to convince John to move here. Just saying.
Yeah, maybe eventually.
I mean,
that did not sound convincing at all.
Yeah, seriously.
Oh. Look, I got kids going in college, Danielle. Like it's hard for me to think about just leaving town and bolting, but it could happen.
Well,
like,
your kids are leaving town and bolting.
Yeah, eventually, but not yet. Like that's a short-term thing. Like I've got, you know, probably a year or 2 more years before they're both gone. And then I could absolutely move. And, you know, where Nikki lives is where my corporate office is. So I could absolutely consider it.
See? Just, you got a kid in college. I got a kid in a crib. This is it's gonna work. What I'm saying is I need more hands for childcare, John, if you could just.
Well, maybe I could get Meg to go to college in Rhode Island. How about that?
That'd be perfect. That would be literally perfect. I think we just solved all of our problems all in one.
Perfect. I'm here for this plan.
Yeah, that's good.
Great.
Not only should she be a babysitter, but I've already established she's a great bartender. So
and I need both of those things.
I know.
So perfect.
Real
talk, you guys, though, like he is in the crib for the very first time tonight.
Is he? Oh, that's exciting.
It's not. It's terrible.
Why is it terrible?
Yeah.
Because I'm not ready.
It's not like he's going
Well,
off to
get
college, for
ready.
God's sakes. He's just in a
I
crib.
know, but he's been in the best, and he's been in our room this whole time.
Maybe you'll
and
sleep so good.
I think you're right, but
You're
I'm
right.
still.
You're acting like he's going off to boarding school. Jesus. Like,
I don't know. It's emotional. This is emotional. Poor Matt has been like trying to convince me to put him in the crib for like, I don't know, like 2-3 weeks now. And I'm like, no, he needs me.
I feel that. Yeah.
Oh my God.
And he's just a dog.
See?
Yeah.
And I'm like that with our dogs too, with our dogs and with the chickens and now with the baby. It's like I think I'm what they call overbearing.
just wait. Just you wait. Like they start doing like he starts doing big boy things. You're going to be really freaked out. It just gets better and better and better. It's
I
awesome.
can't.
I
You
feel
guys.
like a girl would be more freaky. So at least you have a boy.
True. 1,000%.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't feel this freaky. I mean, I have 2 girls and, I've raised them to be, and with their mom, we give her credit, a lot of credit, actually. They're strong, independent young women. Like they know what's going on. They don't take shit from anybody.
It's true. Your girls are anomalies, though. They're like wonderful, well-adjusted humans. Most girls are just little shits, just terrible.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if they're anomalies or not. I just know like I don't really worry about them when I drop them off in a crowd or they're going somewhere without me. And like Meg the other night was telling me she was going down to Coventry, which is like kind of this really cool little area here in Cleveland. And it's a place I used to live in when I was in my 20s. She's 18, but I lived there in my early 20s. And it was like kind of a hippie community and lots of music and lots of boys and lots of drugs and alcohol and all kind of crazy stuff going on around there. And it's kind of a tough neighborhood, and she's this 18-year-old cute little blonde-haired, blue-eyed girl, driving a little Volkswagen,
Hey, Volkswagen gang.
Yeah, hey, for life.
It's a rite of passage, y'all.
Yes.
It's a rite of passage. Every young girl needs to have had a VW Jetta.
All right, look,
it's got to be.
We're a VW family, all right, and she has a Beetle, a little blue Beetle that she's named Marv. All right,
so cute.
Yeah, and of course she has the little hula dancer on the dash.
Of course,
and she's driving Marv all over town and taking him down to Coventry, and and so like
you ain't worried.
I'm worried, but I trust her.
No, I'm worried.
Yeah, but I trust her. I mean, I don't worry about her. I just worry about other things. That's the hard part. Like, you raise your kids to be, who they're going to be, and they make their own choices. And she makes great choices. She's a terrific kid, but you can't control the uncontrollable, and so you just kind of have to let life happen. So it's, and my point is, it gets far more stressful than the crib, Nikki. So let the crib go.
Dude, how do I parent? How do I parent on your level? Because I seriously am at that point right now where I'm like, he's going to do whatever I say for the rest of his life, right? Because I made him.
Well, alcohol helps. It helps.
Every parent's like, yeah, good luck with that. I'm like, I ripped my pelvis in two for this kid. Like, come on. Doesn't that give me the right to like, tell him what to do forever?
Your parents are always going to be involved. Always. That, or most people's parents are, not everyone's, but mine are, and you'll be involved in his, and I'm involved in my daughter's. And
I literally went to PT today because like I'm broken now. And I'm like, hey, my back hurts. What's up? And my PT was like, yeah, your sacrum's like really loose still because, you like had a kid.
Oh.
And I was like, yeah. How long does it take for my hips to like go back to normal? And he was like, maybe
never.
Years.
Yeah,
I was
never.
like, oh my God. So what you're saying is I should just have another one before I even try to like rehab this, right?
Oh gosh, yeah.
Good.
Knock it out.
Yeah, might as well.
Man, you female athletes have it so much harder than men in so many areas. This being one, especially the moms.
Yeah.
I ain't even a mom yet. Okay.
Well, still, like, it's just, I don't know. I just feel like dudes, we just don't have it quite so bad. I'll probably
Yeah,
get blown up.
don't.
I'll get blown up by dudes telling me I'm not right about that. But do like we don't have a lot, like we don't have like a good example. We don't have periods. Like we don't get period
Mhm.
cramps. Like we don't have to
Yeah.
deal with that. There's we don't get the bloating and all the stuff that comes with it.
When
Like I
you're
got the
hot, you can just take off all your clothes. You don't even have
yeah.
to wear a shirt. You don't have to go
Free
through
the
hormone changes
nipple.
of
Free the
feeling
nipple.
like shit one day and then like the next you feel great. You don't have to go through that.
Yeah, that's the point. Like I do feel like we have it easy in a lot of those ways,
So easy. Oh my God. Anyone who blows you up can just send them my way. Please. I'm primed for this argument right now.
Yeah,
Every time
yeah.
Matt wakes up and he's like, man, I'm tired. I'm like, are you? Tell me how tired you are. Tell me how many times you woke up to feed the baby last night.
Oh,
God.
oh man.
Hey, we have our
Okay.
problems too. We have our problems too.
It's true.
They're just on a
It's
different level.
true. No, it's true. Sometimes when it's really cold, your nuts are hard to find.
Yeah, they are.
It's tough. That's
Hey.
tough.
It's a real thing, man. Shrinkage is a real thing, Nikki.
I know.
We do not judge.
It was cold in the pool.
Cold water. We
Yeah.
don't talk about that. This is not stuff we talk about.
Don't talk about it. Oh.
It's true.
Well, I'm really glad that you came on the show tonight, Danielle, to talk about all of these very important
you.
things with us.
This is important. It's life.
Well, I'm excited
Good.
about your upcoming season. I mean, I know you said
Me
you're dealing
too.
with this injury, but it was great watching you at Rogue.
Yeah,
Like,
it was
and-
so fun.
Without sucking up, like you had one of the highlight performances at the games. That handstand walk is going to go down in legend.
Girl.
I mean, and I'm not like just saying this because you're on the show. Like last year's game, there were several highlights where you look back on and go, man, that was a great moment to watch. Like I think of Justin winning the final event, hugging his mom and dad. Like,
Yeah.
it wasn't in Annie
Can't
finishing,
beat that.
on the
Classic.
podium. Like there was stuff like that people always remember. But your handstand walk event was literally legendary.
Mhm.
It was, and like as someone in the crowd, like I don't get geeked out about competition. Like it's a kind of running joke on the show that I like CrossFit and I like memes, but I don't get too geeked out about the competitions. But I was
Yeah.
literally screaming my ass off.
Oh,
Like just
So fun.
oh, the whole crowd was, but I was losing my shit. It was so amazing.
oh, that's amazing.
It was so
Yeah,
cool.
You know what my favorite part about that was? Which one of your parents is really active on Instagram?
My mom.
It's your mom. So
Yeah.
she reposted that video,
Of
right?
course,
And she was
yeah.
like, "This is my daughter." Like
Oh my gosh. Oh,
it was
yeah. She's like a cuckoo fan.
I'm pretty sure I follow
love
your mom. I'm almost
that.
positive.
Yeah, biggest
I-
supporter.
I
So,
follow
you
as
know,
many
like-
parents as I can because that's where the best content is. It's
Oh my
never on
gosh,
the
and-
person's page themselves. Like I got tagged in something by Saxon and Spencer's mom the other night. It was a picture when
Yeah.
they were both like 4 and they got these little
I
bowl
love
haircuts.
that.
And I'm like, oh yeah, that's getting used. That's
Oh
absolutely.
yeah.
getting
And my
used.
mom like cannot stand like the haters.
She can't. That's my favorite part. Watching
Yeah.
her clap back is everything.
Like on those what is it? You look like a man.
Yes, that's
Oh.
where I found
Like,
her.
Popped off. And then also on like some post, this girl was being crazy. I mean, about COVID, and was basically like that was like the highest and just like meanest I've ever seen somebody be. But they were just like, kill yourself because like you're not. And I was just like, this is insane. And my mom was just like, no, I can't handle this, and was like that's my daughter. Like, yeah, it was crazy.
Wild.
I was like, I could not believe somebody would say that.
Well, the
It was
internet
just
is, like I
insane.
said, dumpster fire. You just can't.
Oh yeah.
People get their little talking points, Danielle. Like I figured, that,
Oh, yeah.
the 2 or 3 of you that, were dealing with the COVID issues at the games, we're going to have to deal with all the craziness of
Of
people that,
course.
have their opinions and
Even from people we knew. I mean, like
Hmm.
people popping off about, oh, maybe like Bethany wouldn't have gotten sick if she was vaccinated. Like, shame on her for not being vaccinated. Just like crazy.
well,
It's sad when it's people you know or friends and family,
it's
it's
interesting how the
just
tide
weird.
shift on that because now, here we are just a few months later, it's not like this was a year ago, it's just a few months later, and all of a sudden you're finding, people that are fully vaccinated getting sick all the time, and
Yep.
how that's changing, so my point is the mind shift is changing around that piece, and how a few months ago people were so adamant that, well, if you gotten vaccinated, you wouldn't have this problem. And now we're finding out vaccinated people are getting sick too,
Right.
so.
Well, my point is that Mama Brandon is coming for you in the comments,
Oh,
if
yeah.
anything, and it is
I love
my
it.
favorite part of the
Oh,
internet these
man.
days.
And
I
she has,
love that
like,
shit.
the kindest heart. Like, I mean, somebody could do something so wrong and she'd be like, like, I have empathy for them. Like, she's like, they're just not in a good spot. Like, she's very like forgiving and just has a really good heart. So it's just funny.
I need to get on that level. I'm such a spiteful bitch.
Yeah. I'm like, I'm your daughter. Like, what?
Say what?
Yeah.
Look,
That's
it's
funny.
hard not,
love
as a parent,
that.
it's hard not to want to defend your kid.
Of course.
Really, like
Yeah.
I've told my daughters forever, I'm like, I'm going to defend you with every ounce of my being and every dollar I have available until they have something recorded. So
Right.
don't
Yeah.
like, I've literally said this to them. I'm like, don't send naked photos of yourself. Don't say things that you can't take back that are being recorded. Like,
Right.
you can
It's
tell
good
me you're
advice.
lying and I will defend you as long as it's not recorded. After that, you're on your own. Like,
Yeah.
I can't.
Especially, yeah, I mean, I can't even imagine, just because with the social following that I do have, I mean, you can find it very easily,
Totally. Yeah, you have to be careful.
Yeah.
Or you just say whatever you want and your mom comes after the haters in the
Yeah.
comments. I feel like that's a decent plan.
Yeah. Yeah. You
My
walk
mom will
the
come
line.
after you just like that.
It's true. It's true.
Mama
Your mom is
Willie's-
also, Mama Willie she's very supportive online.
She is. She
Love it.
loves me. She's a sweetheart, but she'll
I
defend me
love
if she
that.
needs to. It's the best part of parents. Best part of being a parent. One of the best parts. That and the mixed drinks.
Dude, I'm ready.
Mixed
Let's
drink.
do it.
There you
I'm
go.
already, I need it already.
Well, Danielle, I'm excited for your season. I appreciate you
Oh,
joining
thank
us
you.
tonight. It's been super fun. We've been trying to, we've been talking about getting you on here forever. And I can't tell you how many DMs I get of people like, when are you going to have Danielle Brandon on the show?
I was going to say, I think she's our most
love that.
requested guest.
Oh,
And now I
love
feel bad that I like hijacked this conversation talking about like OnlyFans and foot pics and shit.
I'll just come on again.
Okay, perfect.
Is that part weird for you? Like because I do feel like you have a much bigger fan base than most CrossFitters. Does that feel odd to you? Do you feel any responsibility to it, or is it just like, it just is what it is?
I think, yeah, it just is what it is. And like, it's fun. So it's not, it's not hard. It's like, I can pick and choose when I'm on there, what I do on there. I don't think I feel like huge obligation, because I think people are most people are very understanding of like, if I don't get back to their message right away. Like, I'm just now reading messages from the games, like a ton of them. And like, it's funny, I'll go through and respond and people are like 3 months later and
Right.
I'm like, well, I'm here, so
I can't believe you respond to messages ever.
Yeah. I mean, I really try to I go through all of my DMs. It's just so hard to keep up.
You don't say that on the show. You should not. We'll cut
Yes.
that out. Let's not do that to you.
Oh,
You're getting
God.
blown up now.
Seriously.
Oh, no. Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
I felt like at Rogue, I was disappointed no one started chanting "Let's go Brandon" for you.
They did.
Did they? I missed it. When did this happen?
Yeah. When on the squat clean event, the one at Max. And then literally every event after.
Amazing.
Yeah.
John, you were not sitting in the right part of the crowd.
I was
apparently.
up in a suite, and so they were most of the
Humble
time.
brag.
No, trust me, it wasn't like I didn't pay for this. I just got lucky.
Well, must not have been the best seat because you didn't get to hear the chant.
I didn't get to hear the crowd. I'm so disappointed now.
No, you didn't.
You have the most fortunate last name on the planet right now.
I
At least for the next
know.
few years, it's gonna be great.
I do, yeah. It's so funny because I had people after who didn't know what it meant, like people friends of mine, and they're
Right.
like, yeah, I just like heard people start chanting it, and then I was like, I started chanting it, and they were just like had no idea what it meant either. I was just
They're
like,
oh my God, it was at the
well, let me tell
Astros
you.
game and they were cheering for you and you weren't even there. It was amazing. You're like, I'm just loved.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say. People just love me.
I'm everywhere. Everywhere you go. Yeah, it's so funny. Even Emily Rolfe, like someone like messaged her and was like, let's go Brandon. And she's like, yeah, I had no idea what that meant, why they sent it to me. I still don't know either.
Wait, I actually
Like,
don't understand why they sent it to her.
I don't either. And I'm like, oh, we do kind of look alike.
No,
Like,
you don't.
Hey,
No.
I would say like our body types are similar. Like the long torso,
Sure. Okay.
like maybe that's like all I can think about. Like that's all I can think. I'm like, did they get us mixed up? Or like, well, I don't know. Is it because she's Canadian?
Probably
Like,
Is that
because she's
why?
probably because she's Canadian. Look,
What does
You
that have to
think?
do with anything?
I don't know, because
That's-
it's like it's an American thing. I get sent it all the time.
It's
What?
so
Why? Why do you get sent
because of the
that?
name of the page? I think people just immediately think I'm a Trump guy. And so I get DMs all the time that say, let's go, Brandon. All the time.
oh, that's funny.
Yeah,
What-
all the
what?
time. It doesn't bother me. It's funny actually. Like every time, and anytime I get a Q&A, there's a dozen of them. Anytime.
Oh yeah.
It's
I
not a
bet if I did
question.
a Q&A, I'd probably get it a lot now.
Yeah, that's all. It's not even a question. It just says, let's go, Brandon. That's people just love to do it. Like it's just, I don't know if it's a calling card or if it's just like people think it's funny or what. It's just weird.
I'm confused.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah. So now whenever they send it to me a DM, I post at least once. Go, yeah, we love Danielle. That's what I did last time. So
You should just send everyone the picture of her giving the finger.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think I have a good copy of it. I need to find it. Or
She'll send you one.
yeah,
Send
just
her one.
send me one
Yeah.
and I'll use
get
it.
you one.
We'll use it for this promo when we post this on
Perfect.
Friday.
Oh, great.
That'll be the image.
Love it.
It'll be perfect. All right. Well, Danielle, thanks for joining us. Super fun.
course.
Glad you're going to be part of the mouth hole family at Airway.
Yay.
Me
So,
too.
That's good
Love a
stuff.
good mouth hole piece.
Yeah. Part of the mouth hole
Oh,
family.
man. Yeah.
And Nikki, great seeing you as always. I'm glad Matt brought you your drink.
Same.
Go pitch your OnlyFans page to him that I'm going to manage because I got to get that 10% or 5% or whatever my cut's going to be.
Got you. Got you. I'll write you a contract.
Perfect. All right. Well, for everyone listening, we appreciate you guys joining and we will chat with you guys soon.